Before I begin, on behalf of City Council, I'm going to read the following statement.
A packed Carlsbad City Hall as residents and others listen and voice their thoughts on an affordable housing complex on Oak Avenue and Harding Street. It's called Windsor Point.
There's no question that Windsor Point has become an attractive nuisance.
We've seen residents arrested, littering, and experiencing mental health crises and exhibiting aggressive behavior all along Camellia Place. Clearly, the incidences that are occurring inside the facility are spilling out into the neighborhood.
The city says Windsor Point offers affordable housing with half of the units for low-income veterans, their families, and homeless vets, and the other half for unhoused individuals experiencing mental illness. Some people signed up to speak against the facility that opened in the spring of 2022, one of them being Dennis Jensen, who lives near Windsor Point, hoping the facility is moved or closed.
There have been over 762 first responder calls needed at the facility in its first 2 years alone. That's how our lives have changed. It is a menace.
Carlsbad's police chief and housing and homeless services director providing the city council with an update on the facility and what's being done to address public concerns with Windsor Point. The staff report shows Carlsbad PD has seen a big spike, 762 calls for service since the facility opened in 2022. It states a high percent of the calls for service, 44%, are mental health related. The numbers also show over half of the calls for service came from 7 of the 48 units at Windsor Point. Data showing 19 people were arrested, with nearly half of them being guests, not residents of the facility, with some of them being domestic violence and drug related. But the chief saying Tuesday night's arrests for an attempted murder and sexual assault, both allegedly committed by guests, did occur in the past. Advocates for the homeless community say there's a bigger issue.
People have to realize that not all homeless people are bad people. We're not. We're not all crazy. We're not mentally ill. We need people in housing. We have a housing crisis, not a homeless crisis.
If they lose their housing, they'll be back on the streets. They're in that cycle over again.
City staff say it and the facility have been working to address the community's concerns. It's also suggesting things like more on-site security and services to continue to do so. Ryan Hill, ABC 10 News.